So this comment asks about what if someone has a great personality during an interview, but they're too nervous to show it. Doing this 11 years, we've actually found a way to kind of bring people out of their shell. First, there's always something on their resume that has maybe intrigued me, and that's why you're in the interview. So I'll ask them something specific, whether they've coached sports, played sports, they have an interesting hobby, they have an interesting skill. So that's something we'll always ask. We also don't ask strictly educational questions. For example, I always ask people what book they're reading currently or what's their favorite book if they can't come up with something on the spot, to try and get them talking. Usually we do our interviews late spring or midsummer, early summer, and usually people have a summer read, or everyone has a favorite book that they've read, in my experience, especially in the education field. So it's usually pretty easy to get them talking about that. And without fail, always someone on my interview team or interview committee has read the book also, or likes the same author, or wants to read the book. So it just sparks a conversation. I also ask, like the last question I ask, my APs hate it, but I love it, is if you were a pastry, what pastry would you be and why? And that usually makes people laugh if they're not expecting it. And we give them a chance to think and come up with something. And usually that'll show people's personality. Some people freeze on that. It's not a big deal, but it's just something that gives us a little insight into how you think and something to make you laugh. We also don't do our meetings at like a conference table and our interviews at a conference table or like a boardroom setting. It's in my office. I have a very casual office. You walk past a foosball table when you come in. And the last thing that's most important, I'm very strategic about who's on my interview committee. I have a lot of teachers that are really good at talking to people, and they're good at asking questions and have the autonomy to ask things about people, to get them out of their shell a little bit and try and help you along to show your personality. So that's something we also do. And also, we will also give them a chance to talk to them outside of administration's presence, because if people are a little more open, if they're nervous, it's usually because admin's there. But when teachers talk to teachers, I'm sure as anyone who's been to a teacher lunch period in their career knows, that's when everyone really spills the tea. So we do our best to try and give everybody a chance to show their personality. And we also ask them at the end what they have any questions for us. So, and oftentimes due to our social media or our school's reputation, they'll ask a lot of questions. And it's another way to get a free-flowing conversation. I hope that helps.